This is Jesse Goldberg-Strassler, joined by Lansing Lugnuts All-Star infielder Christian Lopes. Christian, firstly, how was your All-Star game experience?
It was awesome. One of a kind. They did a good job in Dayton. It was cool seeing my brother as well. He came out to see me, and it was just about having fun and did that.
Did you know that he was going to come on out?
Yeah, I did. We actually planned it out to where if I were to go, he would see if he can get a hitch a ride with his buddies, and he did, so it was fun.
Your younger brother Tim plays for Clinton. You play for Lansing. First year for both of you in the Midwest League. How's that been for both of you guys?
It's been cool. We get to call each other, see how each other's doing. We're only a few hours apart. I know he's in Iowa and I'm in Lansing, but my dad's going to come out to see us soon, and that's going to be a good experience. So it's been fun. It's been a good ride, and we learned a lot as well. And relaying information on how to help each other, and so it's cool.
Did you meet anyone at the All-Star game who you didn't know before, who you got along with?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I got along a lot with Devin Travis. He was a good guy. I learned a lot from him. The kid's an unbelievable baseball player, and there was a lot of guys on there that were awesome. Every single one of those guys were nice. I learned a lot from each one of them, and I had a good time.
I heard that Joe Morgan was there, as well as George Foster representing the Big Red Machine. Morgan's one of the best second basemen in baseball history. Right now you're playing second base. Did you get a chance to talk to him?
I didn't. I saw him there. I didn't get a chance to talk to him, however.
Oh, wow. Well, we knew you first as a shortstop. Now we're seeing you as a second baseman, although you've played short a couple of times. What's the difference between those two positions?
Shortstop's more rhythmic. I would say it's a harder throw. It's a longer throw. Tougher to play there, I think. Second base is a little closer, a little shorter. Doesn't need as much rhythm, although you still need it. It's just the throw. I mean, it's a lot less expected of you over there. I mean, not expected. It's just there's a lot less responsibility at second base than there is at shortstop. Shortstop is a tough position to play.
Talked about that word rhythm too with Toronto Blue Jays roving infield instructor Mike Mordecai, the rhythm of the ball and also understanding who the batter is. How does that come for you? How are you working on that?
It's good. I learned a lot from Morty. Morty's one of the best guys I've been around as far as infield, and with me, a lot of things we work on is rhythm. And, we stay in rhythm and timing with the ball and knowing who's the runner. First step off the ball, whether you got to get rid of it a little quicker or, just developing that time clock that infielders have as they get older, they get better, knowing, when to get rid of it and how long you actually do have.
Let's say you come to all these unfamiliar fields. How do you learn how fast or how difficult the grass, the infield is going to be?
It's through practice. It's through warm-ups and through walking the field a little bit before, checking the dirt. When you're taking your ground balls, coach is hitting you ground balls, and you're getting your read. That's what that's for, is warm ups and stuff like that.
That's defense. Let's talk offense. Is there rhythm at the plate?
Absolutely. You gotta develop a sense of rhythm and timing with the pitcher. When he's getting ready, he comes to you, you come to him, and he fires, you fire. It's just about looking certain pitches and so I'd say so.
How did you find your swing?
How did I find my swing?
How did you develop the swing that you now have?
There's my father. We had a lot of guys back home, a lot of coaches back home, and just growing up and checking things out, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work, and so we got a lot more to learn, obviously, but. I feel like I'm in a good place, and we'll see what happens. Has your batting stance changed any over the years? I wouldn't say so, not too much. I don't think it should. You see a lot of guys in the big leagues. Guys like David Wright. You see him. I looked at video of him in high school. His swing was pretty close to what it is right now, and he's an all-star. So.
How do you get that swing so it's consistent? We hear guys talking about consistency all the way through. How do you get that?
You got to just know what works for you, develop a routine, and figure out, how. For me, it's getting ready on time, getting my foot down early, and making sure that I can see the ball. Because if you can see the ball, you can have, if you don't see the ball, you can have the best mechanics in the world, but if you can't see it, and you're not going to hit it. So for me, it's getting my foot down and making sure I get my eyes to release and fire from there.
When did you first realize that you loved baseball?
I knew it. Ever since my dad brought me into it around 10 years old. He he taught me a lot of what I know now, and I thank him for that. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have developed a love for it. I don't think I might have been playing basketball or something else. But his love for the game and his love for he was an East Coast guy, and he liked the Mets. Just learning from him and his love for the game, it really gave me that love for the game.
How far did you travel around to play baseball when you were younger?
I've been to pretty much every state. I can't think of. There's probably a good 4 that I can think of that I didn't play at when we were younger. It was a good time. My dad helped out with the organizing tournaments and stuff like that.
Favorite ballparks to play in?
Favorite ballparks when I was younger?
Mm-hmm.
Field of Dreams probably, and you get to kind of taste what a big league park is, but it really isn't. It's just fake stands and stuff like that. But it was fun. It was fun, close to home.
Who's the toughest pitcher you've ever had to face?
My whole entire life? Well, I can't think of one off the bat. I don't like giving pitchers credit, even though there are a lot of good pitchers out there. I would, if I had to think of one right now, one that pops off my head. I can't remember what team he went to, but Dylan Maples. He was a closer. I don't know if he's starting or closing now, but he's a good pitcher. He knows what he's doing.
Speaking with Lugnuts All-Star Christian Lopes, what was the best team you ever played on?
Best team I ever played on, I would say when I was 12. Everybody always goes back to the little league times, but when I was 12, we played for a team called the SoCal Red Wings, and I think our record was like 96-1 or something like that. And Bryce Harper was on the team. Jake Hernandez with USC, who I believe got drafted. No, he gets drafted this next year. And you can go on and on. There's Eric Snyder, who was I want to say one of the MVPs of this past College World Series at UCLA. We had a good team. It was we were young, but it didn't mean much. But it was a fun team.
You've been dreaming of the major leagues for an awful long time now. First, when you get into the minors, was it anything like what you've expected?
You hear it. It's another thing hearing how tough it is and then coming out here and doing it. It's a long season, and there's a lot to be learned and a lot that I have learned. I know that there's certain things that I expected and certain things that you come to learn, and it's been a ride. And I enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to the future.
What have you learned this year?
I've learned that you have to stay even keel the whole year, and it's a long season, and you can't get too high, you can't get too low, because there's a lot of things in this game that it's a game of failure. So if the more you can go 3 for 10 in the big leagues and be an all-star, and that's what it's about, is learning how to flush the failure and moving on to the next at bat, to the next pitch, and not letting it affect you.
Is there something you're telling yourself right now? All right, I want to figure this out. I want to get better in this specific area next.
Yeah, there's a lot of things in my game I know I need to improve. I can't think of one because there's so many. And I know hitting-wise, just being consistent, and defensive-wise, being consistent. I mean, consistency is the key. It's the word you hear all the time, but it's the truth. Being consistent in this game gets you to the big leagues. So
we know how your season goes, how your spring and summer go. How do you spend your winter?
My winter is spent with my family, relaxing, and away from the game. Obviously, you come back to it to get ready for spring training, but my winter is spent most of the time just hanging out, my girlfriend, my family, my friends, and just going to, and then later you get your work done.
Finally, your favorite baseball movie?
My favorite, Sandlot. I'd have to say Sandlot.
Christian Lopes, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm Jesse Goldberg-Strassler. You're listening to Lansing Lugnuts Baseball on Big Country 92.1.